What are your thoughts about handling conflict and arguments in marriage, based on your experience with arguments?
Arguments and conflicts
Yeah.
are either, because those are two different things.
Well, the whole aspect of handling disagreements, handling arguments.
Okay. Let's break that down.
Okay.
Let's do conflict first.
Okay.
I believe that you should, first of all, understand that each individual have their own ideal of how to handle different situations and circumstances, and it might not be the way you would handle a conflict, or we all have different way of thinking and different way of expressing ourselves. And the number one thing is to remember that that person is not your enemy. Mm-hmm. You don't fight a person that you love, or that is that you're trying to go anywhere in life with them the way you would if you were fighting someone that didn't matter.
Right.
So with that being said, I feel like you should back again remember that that person is not your enemy.
Right.
And that you don't fight the same way.
Right. Fight in love, argue in love.
Right.
Manage conflict in love.
Right. Mm-hmm. In love.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to walk away from situations for a while.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say, right now, just don't talk to me right now. I can't, and be okay. Don't keep forcing the issue, but I don't want to talk, but
right.
I need, because you might not get what you want.
Right.
At that moment. So sometimes it's good to just walk away from situations for a while, circumstances, how long ever it takes for you, but do come back to it. Don't just push it under the bridge. Push it under the cover and try to flow on with it, because it'll show back up again.
Right.
And it might not show back up. It might show back up unexpectedly and have an unexpected
right
cause, because I think everything is a cause and effect. Mm-hmm. You said something to me, and my effect was I hit you in the nose.
Oh,
No, I'm just being funny. But I do feel that the number one thing to remember is that that person is not your enemy, and that if you're going to be careful what you say to that individual, because they're not your enemy.
Right.
Because what you say, you can't retrieve that. Even if you get past it, you say you're sorry, you cannot.
Words cut.
Right. You can't go back and grab that word out of that person's mind or heart. You can, go through counseling and get, some healing from it, but those words.
Yeah. Once you put them out there, you can't reel them back in.
Mm-hmm. So I would say, be careful with your words. By understanding first that that person is not your enemy.
Yeah.
And then I would say, give it some time. If you can't come up with a conclusion or an answer or a fix it, then you just give it some time.
As it pertains to us, I asked you this not too long ago, and you didn't know the answer, and I told you, but I want to see if you remember. When was the last time we had an argument. A
It's been a while.
a issue where we just really clashed.
It's been a while. I can't remember.
Can't remember. Now we've had little, disagreements here and there about, certain things, but I'm talking about a big major issue, and I can't believe you can't remember.
I can't remember.
Okay.
When was it?
All right. It was when Thomas was leaving the 5th grade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now he's about to be 20.
Yeah.
And, but when he was leaving the 5th grade, some little boy hit him or something. It was close to the end of the school year. Remember that? And you got upset at how I handled the situation when we went to talk to them.
Right.
Remember that? And you were so mad at me. You put me out of the house. You sent me back to my mom for the day. I drove all the way to Dallas and went to my mom's house because you were so mad at me. You told me to get my ass out of the house. I can't even look at you. I need you to get out. And
I remember that.
Yeah. And because you wanted the boy's head on a platter. And
Right.
hit my son, you bring him to me, I'll whoop his ass myself. But I didn't handle it like that. I was much more calm and methodical about it and tactical about it. But later on, when I explained it to you and I explained it to Thomas, and he understood why I did that the way I did it. But it took you about a day, and then you were okay because you realized you were right in how you handled that, because we're not getting ready to see this boy anymore. They're getting ready to leave this school. Thomas is going to that program that he was in. That other boy is going to another school. We're not going to have to deal with this again. School's about to be out.
Right.
And we have spent all these years building a rapport with these educators. Bringing flowers and gift cards at the end of the year and all this stuff, to go up there and act a fool at the end of the year.
Right.
With our last child. We took Hannah through there and Thomas through there. We're out of kids now. We're getting ready to leave. So I just didn't think it was wise to do all that. But you were very upset.
Yes.
And you cursed me out.
Yes.
And after that, I said that, well, no, I think it was a different argument that I said this, but I said that, listen, when we have arguments and disagreements, we're not going to be cursing at each other and all that stuff. I mean, I just, because I cannot do that to you. I mean,
right.
Can you remember a time where I've ever raised my voice at you?
No.
In 30 years, have I ever yelled at you about anything?
No.
No. Because I do not, one does not yell at Claire Huxtable. You do not yell at the queen. See what I'm saying? There's a way to do stuff and get your point across without doing all that. That's that's why I don't think I would be a good preacher, because I don't have a yelling. I don't get any higher than this. If I have to get higher than this, then we
wrong.
don't need to be talking
right.
Because I'm not a yeller. I just don't do it. The kids have brought me to that point
a couple of times.
A few times, and I hated it. I hated feeling like that.
Right.
And but you understood eventually why I handled it the way I did, and that was the last big blowout that we had. 5th grade. What was that even? 2015, 14? I don't even know. It was because like I said, he's 20. He's getting ready to be 20 now.
And so that was, he was how old then?
5th grade. What is that? 12, 13?
So it's been about, what, 7 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah. So, and then so when we, when we do have disagreements or, little conflicts now, if it gets too heated, I get quiet. Actually, you get quiet too. We don't, in other words, we go to our respective corners for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come back and talk about it when we have had a chance to digest and process what's going on. And then we do a sound check with each other to make sure that we both understand how each other was feeling about the situation.
Right.
So as opposed to, so we're very, diplomatic about conflict.
Mm-hmm.
We don't just go off and yell and curse folk out and stuff. We just, we don't do it like that. We process what's going on. Take a break, time out if we need to, and then we always come back and talk about it.
Right.
And that's what has worked for us. That's part of what has worked for our 30-year union. It hasn't always been like that.
It surely hasn't.
Yeah, that's, it's a learned skill. That's probably, it has been like that probably over the last half of our
marriage.
15 years of marriage, that second half.
Right.
As we've grown and matured,
Mm-hmm.
I think we made mutual decisions to handle conflict a different way.
Right. Right.
Because would you like to talk about when we first got married and you would get mad?
Now you're telling all of my stuff.
No.
Let's go on back a little bit.
Okay, wait a minute. No, let's not do that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. We don't want to go back a little bit farther.
No, we're not talking about before marriage.
No, I'm talking about right at marriage.
Okay, no, we're not going to. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
We bringing up that old stuff.
Yeah. Some of y'all already know. Yeah.
But it's important to learn the skill of managing conflict and learn how to argue in love, because like you said earlier, which is very, very powerful, you don't argue or fight someone you love the same way that you would argue and fight someone that you don't mind killing.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And there are some relationships that actually thrive on that kind of chaos. They love that. I don't think some of them know it, but it's just how they show love. It's just arguing and fighting and picking fights and stuff like that. That's weird, but there are some that do that. The only downside to how we have learned to manage conflict and arguments is that we don't get to have very much makeup sex.
That's all right. We have enough of that without the arguments.
All right. Yeah. All right.